Gotta run this back. Yo, listen. Yeah, I'm such a cash cow. I start talking about Watch the Throne and watch the streams go up next week now. Watch, yo, everybody going to start listening to Watch the Throne again. But isn't that what's going on? Kanye West, Jayz, Gemini, Sagittarius. The sun is in Sagittarius. Two of the biggest artists of all time. Jay-Z is from New York. Hold on. Shout out to the town. Yeah. Yeah, it's from Chicago. We drop a bomb on Chicago too. Like, what? So yeah, what we got going on is two gentlemen from two different backgrounds, two completely different upbringings with similar higher aspirations. Now, this ties into that phrase of it doesn't matter where you're from, it matters where you're going. Where's your higher ambitions? When you go to the airport, why are you going to the airport? What's bringing you there? You're not going to the airport to stay in the same place and stay in the same mindset. You go in that airplane, you're going to expand your horizon, expand your perspective. So this is what I think Sagittarius season shows us. Now, y'all, what I'm about to do is I'm about to hold on, y'all. Let me make sure I link my book up top. Okay. All right, y'all. Look, if y'all in the room, make sure y'all order my new book, Astrosthetics, because what I'm about to be reading is from this book. So today, Kanye, yesterday, right? Y'all see Kanye West going in when he talking about spirituality, because that's essentially what religion is. Religion is the aspect of the ninth house and the 12th house. Religion is an aspect of Sagittarius and Jupiter. So, I mean, religion is an aspect of Sagittarius and Pisces. Why? Because both of these guys are governed by Jupiter. So with Jupiter having rulership of both of these signs, when when the sun goes into Sagittarius, there's gonna be some slight emphasis on the religious aspect. Now, Sagittarius, look at what happened with those monks in Thailand. There was this article that I put on my Instagram that came out of these monks getting high in Thailand. Is that not religion? Is that not drugs and spirituality? Is that not foreign lands being under the influence? And then when we have Saturn in Aquarius, there is emphasis on the communities and also emphasis on children as well. Who is guarding the children? Are the ones guarding the children fair and just? Are they in control of themselves? Not in control, but are they in control of themselves? Who's guarding? Who's the guardians around the children? We would have to look at the community. This is why Saturn being in Aquarius is putting our focus on the community. Hold on, man. Hit that link up top and order the one of the most epic books of all time. This book, Astrosthetics, is amazing, and I will be reading excerpts of it in about 10 seconds. If you got a copy of Astrosthetics, go to page 121. Let's get into Sagittarius. This is some of the keywords for Sagittarius out of Astrosthetics. Sagittarius corresponds to expansion, philosophy, optimism, distance, long distance travel, spirituality, wisdom, vast diaspora, infinity, knowledge, universities, flights, planes, teaching, and curves. Now, this is also dealing with trajectory. This is why when it comes to our higher goals, Jay-Z being a Sagittarius, why he's Jay-Z is like, yo, why can't I give y'all $1.5 billion and buy out your 50% share? This is also Mars and Gemini. Now, Kanye West, he's been going in on a few dimensions in a few houses, and these things are intersecting, obviously. It's astrostatic. When he's talking about the business, the corporations, but then he's talking about the religion. Is that not all an aspect of Sagittarius? Sagittarius is right next to Capricorn. Sagittarius is one of the most business astute signs. Example, Jay-Z. Jay-Z flips companies very well, brings them to a higher level, then he sells them out. Or he has a track record of doing that. So when we're looking at this, Kanye West on the other side being a Gemini, and then Mars is in Gemini, you can kind of see why he might at this time even feel more turned up than normal. He might feel more passionate. He might feel more assertive. These are Mars and Gemini like things. And with him being a Gemini, essentially he could have Mars around him, or Mars is kind of like neighboring him in some way. So now, y'all, let's check out Pisces, because we got Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. And this is going to tie this in, and it's going to, I think, make even more sense. So, y'all, if you got Astrosthetics, go to page 145. Astrosthetics says about Pisces: Pisces governs quantum physics, the soul, the 12th house, the imagination, sensitivity, the unseen, the mystical, mysterious, illusions, escapism, cinema, fantasy, shadows, ethers, ethereal, and daydreaming. It's astrostatic. Now, and also drugs, right? When we get to the drugs aspect of it, we're speaking about the almost like that Neptunian kind of influence. But this is why it's interesting that Neptune and Jupiter are both in Pisces. And isn't isn't Douce alcohol? It's astrostatic. Isn't that Neptunian? When you go under the influence of things, you get a little Neptunian. All right, so y'all, hold up. Let's look at what Neptune deals with, cause y'all think I'm playing with y'all. Hold on, y'all. We gonna get into this tune. It's astrostatic. We gonna get into this Neptune. Hold on. Yeah, excuse me. This book is like, it's a 500-page book. You gotta bear with me and just give me a second sometimes. Like, so yeah, this is Neptune. Neptune governs spirituality, psychic abilities, the paranormal universe, trippy. That look in astrosthetics, that's one of the key words for Neptune, because Neptune is trippy. When people do drugs, when people get do psychedelics, that's also one of the key words for Neptune. When people do psychedelics and drugs, they get very tripped out. And this is also, that means that they're under the influence. So does that make sense as to why um Jay-Z during Sagittarius season, around the same time when they found a temple in Thailand with all the monks under the influence, do y'all see how all of these seemingly unrelated dimensions are crossing? And then Ye, when he's speaking about religion, when he's speaking about spirituality, all of these things are Piscean within nature. But then when we put in that Saturn in Aquarius, now we're getting authorities involved, we're getting people involved, we're getting large communities of people involved. And all of these factors they're leading up to a scandal, whether it be in tech, whether and also finances. That's why a lot of people are getting sued, right? Communities of people suing each other, suing each other for some of these maybe spontaneous ego driven things, because then this is the focus: who's guarding the children, and then it's also who's guarding the guardians, and then it's like, yo, who's watching the watchmen. This is dealing with authority, and when there's no authority, no type of regulation, or no type, I don't want to say control, but if there's no type of guardianship, the the karma just it plays out i- as a result of the effects. And then when we look at what's going on in the world with a lot of what a lot of these people are speaking about, they're dealing with the guardians, the people overseeing some of these large communities, or these large corporations, or these large entities. And this is what the focus is on. And with the Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces, avoiding the spirituality element is dang near impossible. With Because with these two energies, they're gonna be there. So we're gonna see a lot of religious groups come into the fray, a lot of, like, you y'all, like, it's almost so hard to even speak about at this point, because but like y'all know that we been on this stuff. You like y'all could go on my Instagram, and a matter of fact, I'm gonna get y'all my Instagram right now so y'all could see it. Go on my Instagram and check out that post right there that I linked up top. It says, thy temple left without monks after they all test positive for meth. Thy temple left without monks after they all test positive for meth. Or after they all test positive for hitting that rock. Them thotties was out there hitting that rock. But y'all, isn't that a Thai temple? That's abroad. That is not domestic. That is a foreign lands out of your local circumference. Isn't that what we've been speaking about when we say Gemini is the airport and Sagittarius? When we say Gemini is the car dealership and Sagittarius is the airport, you go to them for two different things, for two different reasons, and they do two different things to your mind. So the Thai temple, that's not in the US. That is a foreign land. Sagittarius, monks, religious. Monks are people that practice, devote themselves to sacred religious lifestyles. Pisces, that's why they're in a temple, in a Thai temple. Pisces. So when I'm saying, yo, like when people talk about spirituality, and when they talk about all of this spiritual stuff in open spaces, when I say, yo, y'all should be doing that in a temple or in a sanctuary somewhere. Like, even though we're talking about astronomy and astrology right now, we're still having fun with it. We're still kicking it, right? We not trying to get all deep and weird. You get what I'm saying? That's for the sanctuary. That's for the temple. Thy temple left without monks after they all test positive for meth, drugs. That's Pisces. That's altered states of awareness. That's your. Isn't that Neptune though? Isn't that what we was just talking about when we talk about Neptune? Like, yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. So when we're speaking about this, I want y'all to go to the next slide. The I put on my y'all that article that I just read about the monks in the Thai temple, that was on November 30th. And then if you go to the next slide, You can see that on November 29th, I tweeted large groups, crime syndicates, religious groups, spiritual groups, political groups are all under the microscope. Could we be in the midst of an upcoming scandal? That was on November 29th. And then what happened with the monks in the temple? That happened on November 30th. So literally the next
It's
day,
astrostatic.
y'all see the upcoming scandal. It's crazy, right? But look, when you go to the next slide, when you go to the third slide on my Instagram, it says it's funny how Aquarius and Pisces are in close proximity. This transit highlights the hidden actions of large groups coming to the surface, both near and abroad, foreign and domestic. Funny how religion and drugs are both governed by the same energies. Yo, that was the day before. That was like 2 days before. I don't even think that was a big scandal. That means that there's gonna be some more interesting things that come along the way. Now, what you need to know is that these things have nothing to do with you. When it comes to the astronomical relationship that you share with these planets, that is
It's
your
astrostatic.
natural relationship with the planets, right? So even though crazy things may be happening, going on around the world, you can learn from it. And that is why Sagittarius is so important, because you're not supposed to sentimentally get absorbed into every experience. You can learn from them. That's why they're supposed to bring wisdom and value to you. Yeah, is this Sagittarian energy making sense? That's how you expand without, but you expand within. When you build internally from your external experience. Isn't that
It's
why when you're
astrostatic.
drawing an arrow back, you got to draw that arrow back to you, and as far as that arrow goes, that's going to be a result of your internal drive for that arrow to go higher and soar through the sky and fly. And that's and that's what Sagittarius season is about.
It's astrostatic.
Yeah, that's why Sagittarius is the archer, man. So y'all see the vibe that we on, and like y'all, that's just some, I don't know, y'all. Like that's just how I chose to philosophize or creatively interpret the energy, right? But that's why, like, I love astronomy and astrology, because it's like, let's make these things real. You get what I'm saying? Like I try to take
It's
sometimes all of the
astrostatic.
spiritual, let's make all of these things as realistic and as relatable as possible, because then it goes into esotericism and occult stuff, and that's not what we're trying to do here. You get what I'm saying? So, we still love math, right? That could have just been a symbolic interpretation of the sign, but this is really because in Sagittarius, it's approaching, it has to go into reserves for almost. When the sun is in Libra to Sagittarius, this is when animals go out to hibernate. So, this is when the
It's
sun begins to
astrostatic.
learn how to conserve its energy. When it's about to go into Capricorn, it's about to kind of, I don't want to say lose power, but right, it's about to go into under the influence of Saturn. And this could be the cold parts, the cold harsh parts of the universe, right? So when the sun is here, it has to be wise, it has to conserve its strength. And then when we go to the top of the year and that Jack and Jill, that ball goes down the hill, then the sun begins to generate its power again as we go into Aries season,
What's
where the
astrostatic?
sun is exalted.